Hello students, today we will read the further story of chapter 6, The Making of a Scientist, written by Robert W. Peterson. Failure can be a true teacher. This phrase is true in Abright's life because in 7th grade when Abright lost the competition county fair, he did not lose heart. Even though he started analyzing the reasons behind his defeat and how to succeed. So what he got to know that he had to work on what real science is rather than showing the mere display of projects and researches. So when Abright understood that what is to be done, he started working on various projects such as the viral disease in monarch butterflies, then the viceroy butterfly and also monarch butterfly. So when he presented these researches, he got prizes on prizes in every county fair, whether it was national or international fair. This way, he got so many opportunities, such as he got the chance to work in entomology laboratory of the Walter Reed Army Institute of Research. So then he never looked behind and he kept on moving ahead. Let's read what happens in his life. We got to know that Abright started searching that whether the spots on the tiny golden spots on monarch pupa's wings were just ornamental or they had real purpose. So he and his friends started working in building a device which would show that the spots were producing a kind of hormone which was very important for the full development of a butterfly. So when he presented that research, his project won prize. He got first prize in county fair, he got prize in international fair as well. Then he got the chance to work in the laboratory advanced one. And as a high school junior, Richard Abright continued his advanced experiments on the monarch pupa. That year, his project won the first place at International Science Fair and gave him another chance to work in the army laboratory during the summer. So when he kept on doing his research and start gathering other observations, and when he presented those observations, he got another chance to work in army laboratory. Also he got the first prize in different fairs. In his senior year, he went a step further. He grew cells from a monarch wing in a culture and showed that the cells would divide and develop into the normal butterfly wing scales only if they were fed with the hormone from the golden spots. So, see what he did. He took the cells of butterfly, and if those cells would be given that hormone which was produced by the spots, then automatically those cells would develop, they would divide, because what is needed by the cells to divide and to develop? Hormone. Okay, so basically that hormone was development or growth hormone. When that hormone was given to cells, they automatically divided and they grew up, they developed. So this way he proved that those tiny spots were not ornamental, but they had real purpose of growth. They were very important in producing a hormone for the butterfly's growth. That project won the first prize at for zoology at the international fair. He spent the summer after graduation during further work at Army Laboratory and at the laboratory for of the US Department of Agriculture. So you can see that what kind of opportunities he was getting. He got the chance to work at the advanced or sophisticated laboratory such as Army Laboratory and then laboratory of the US Department of Agriculture. that provided him so many chances to learn with the experienced scientists. The following summer, after his freshman year at Howard University, Albright went back to the laboratory of the Department of US or Agriculture and did more work on the hormone from the gold spot. He did not stop his learning when he was working in the laboratory, which were quite advanced. He kept on researching further on the golden spots of monarch butterfly. Using the laboratory sophisticated instrument, sophisticated here stands for advanced instrument, he was able to identify the hormone's chemical structure, that what is the formation of that hormone. A year and a half later, during the junior year, Albright got the idea for his new theory about the cell's life. It came while he was looking at the X-ray photos of the chemical structure of a hormone. When he saw those photos, Albright did not shout Eureka. Eureka is like an expression when you win something. तो जब वो पिक्चर्स को देख रहा था सेल की, एकदम से वो चीखा नहीं, बट he got something, he believed that along with his finding about the insect's hormone, and the photos gave him answers to one of the biology puzzles, how the cells can read the blueprint of its DNA. So what he got to know, that cells can read the blueprint of DNA is individual. Okay? DNA is the substance in the nucleus of a cell that controls heredity. It determines the form and function of the cell. Thus, DNA is the blueprint of life. So, when he was looking at the X-ray of cells of monarch butterfly, he got to understand that how cells work, because what theory he had given? How cells work. So, he had given the theory that how cells work, that cells can read the blueprint of anybody's DNA, and DNA is individual in everybody. So he told the science field or the science world that DNA is the blueprint for life and cells can read the blueprint of DNA. This came when he was researching on the monarch butterflies hormones. Albright and college roommate James R. Wong worked all night. When they understood that how cells work, they kept on working throughout the night. They drew so many pictures of cells and the chemical structures. They made so many plastic models of molecules to show how cells work and how they read DNA of any individual. Together, they wrote the article, the paper that explained the theory that how cells work. Surprising to the one who knew him, Richard Albright graduated from Howard University with highest honors. He was second in his class of 1510 students. So just see bache, he was always busy in his science project, in taking part of competitions, but see, when it comes to academic part, he stood second in the class of 1510 student. So he always worked on academic part as well. Albright went on to become a graduate student researcher at Howard Medical School. Then he began doing experiment to test his theory that how cells work. If the theory proves correct, it would be a big step understanding the process of life. It might also lead to new ideas of preventing some kind of cancer and other disease, because if we got to know that what are the functions of cell, so then many diseases can be prevented. All of this is possible because of Albright's curiosity. He always wanted to learn more and more. He never stopped his learning. When he started gathering butterflies, then he started researching on the different theories of butterfly, viceroy, monarch, about their diseases, and then why the golden spots were there on the wings. So he had always those that curiosity, which led to success. If he would have been satisfied with one win, he would have stopped learning, but he never stopped his learning. Project on project, research on research, he kept on learning and learning. Albright has been interested in science since he began collecting butterflies. Not so deeply that he hasn't time for other interest. अब आप लोग ये सोचते होगे कि वो हमेशा साइंस ही करता रहता था. नहीं, he had time for other things as well. He became a champion debater. He was very good in debate competition. He was a public speaker when it comes to speech. He was a good canoeist. Canoe is a kind of boat. He loved boating. All around outdoor person. He loved to meet people. He loved to explore the places. He is also an expert photographer, particularly of nature and scientific exhibitions. In his high school, Albright was a straight A student. A mean A grade. He always got good marks because learning was easy for him. He turned a lot of his energy towards debating and model United Nation clubs. He also found someone to admire, Richard A. Werer, his SST teacher and advisor. He was very fond of his teacher. He was SST teacher and he was his advisor as well. He made United Nation Club and the teacher always guided him how to run those clubs. Mr. Werer was the perfect person for me. He admired his teacher. He says his teacher opened his mind to new ideas. He always owed his success to Mr. A. Werer. Richard Wood, so you can say beta that he was not so good. He was not only good in academic part, he was not only good in science exhibition, he was not only good in science project, but as a normal human being, he lived his life to the fullest. When it comes to boating, when it comes to meeting people, when it comes to traveling, he was always there. Richard would always give his extra effort. His teacher said so. Teacher also praised Richard that whatever work he would always give his best. What pleased me was here was this person who put in 3 or 4 hours at night doing debate research beside along his research with butterflies and his other interests. So देखो, अगर वो कोई रिसर्च करता था साइंस से तब तो वो रातों को जागता ही था, लेकिन अगर उसने किसी डिबेट कंपटीशन में पार्ट लिया तब भी वो 3-4 घंटे उसके लिए रिसर्च करता था टू गेट द आइडियाज़ एंड टू गेट द डेटा सो दैट ही कुड बी अ गुड डिबेटर. So he was never behind in taking part in competitions. This is why we keep on saying that a child should take part in co-curricular activities. Richard was competitive. He always believed in competitive spirit. He always did his best, but not in a bad sense. Richard wasn't interested in winning for winning's sake, but winning to get a prize. Rather, he was winning because he wanted to do his best. वो कभी भी किसी कंपटीशन में पार्ट लेता था, that was not because he wanted to win a prize, but he wanted to do his best. That's why he always got success. For the right reasons, he wanted to be the best. And that is one of the ingredients in making of a scientist, the competitive spirit. So we got to know that to be a good scientist, one has to be curious, one has got bright mind, one has got that learning spirit, competitive spirit to do your best. That always make you on the right path. Start with the first rate mind, curiosity, mix in the will, the desire to win for the right reason. Albright has all those qualities. From the time the book The Travel of Monarch X opened the world of science to him, Albright has never lost his scientific curiosity. So that him led to the path of success because of these ingredients that made a real scientist. So whatever you do, you should do your best. This is the learning from this chapter, that you should have that curiosity about good things. You should keep on working hard. You may get failure, but yes, from failure also you will learn so many things, and that would lead you to so many paths to success. So read this chapter, go thoroughly to the lines, and if you find any difficulty, you can ask.